So we're moving on to our last project, and we're sticking with the Crafting With You bundle. And for this one, we're actually going to use the embroidery hoop. So this is this die, single die here. And we've got the little spools for thread or ribbon. You get the outer bit here, and you also get an inner bit that you can die cut coloured card from, and that's what we're going to use on this one. But I just wanted to show you that there's other options that you can use with this. So if I take one of these little basic spools here, you could wrap twine around, and I'd suggest putting just a bit of tear and tape or something similar on the back to anchor it, and then you can wrap that around as many times as you want, whatever colours you want. The other one that I used when I was doing cards, when the new catalogue came out, because I made some of these craft cards, it wasn't with the embroidery hoop, but I used these little twine holders, spools, and same thing, that you can pop this lovely thin metallic ribbon in the last year's in colours, and you can wrap that around and secure it. But in the make and take pack, you'll have got the coloured card already cut for you. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to take a sentiment from this pack, the You Inspire Me, from this stamp set, and I'm going to stamp this. What I've done is just create a card base. This is Berry Burst, and I just wanted to show that we can mix the colours up just a little. I haven't got a Berry Burst marker at the moment. I need to find my old one. I'm sure I've got one. But I'm going to use Melon Mambo. It's not a match, but you'll see that it works reasonably well. So we've got our layers here, and I'm going to stamp the You Inspire Me in the bottom corner of this mat. Let me grab my mat here, and I'm going to just do this in Memento Black. You could do it in a colour to match if you have one. So I'll just get that lined up, and then, like I say, I just want that down in that corner like that. And for the embroidery hoop, I'm actually going to stamp these flowers. And what I'm going to do is just use my brush marker. This is an Old Olive marker pen, and I'm just double checking these are the leaves. So I'm going to colour the leaves in Old Olive. Might need to go back over some of these bits, we'll see. And what I'm actually going to try and do is leave the centres clear. There is actually a bit of a centre that you can colour, but I'm not wanting to do that. You'll see why. So just get these all coloured. Like I said, I'm using Melon Mambo, Old Olive, and I've got also the Daffodil Delight marker. Okay, so I'm going to huff, just breathe on it, to revive the ink. Whoops, get that the right way up. And then stamp that like that. And then I'm going to just take the Daffodil Delight marker and just colour a circle in the centre. It's just a little bit easier to do it that way rather than trying to do it onto the stamp. And it does give a slightly sort of mottled effect, which I'm quite happy with. I like that look for this. So there's our embroidery hoop. And what we're going to do, it's a bit fiddly, but we're just going to stick these little threads onto each of our spools. So if I do that, take a pick tool, just makes it a little bit easier to grab these. So there's one. And there's another. And I'm using here for the background, this is the Bright and Beautiful DSP. There is no DSP pack that comes with this bundle. It seems a little bit of a shame. It would have been nice to have matching, but to be honest, the dies and stamps that you've got in this, they've just got such an amazing variety. I don't blame them in some ways for not doing other things as well. So DSP, there we go. Right, so to assemble this, I'm just going to adhere this, and of course you've got a choice. You make your mind up which side you prefer if you get the make and take pack. But I'm going to have that stripy side out. So that's going on the front of my Berry Burst A4 portrait card there. And then I'm going to pop this panel that I've stamped my sentiment onto here. Now, of course, as I've said a few times, you won't get stamped images. So you've got a choice with your set. You could, if you wanted to, put your sentiment on here instead, rather than trying to fit it in down here. I'm quite happy with that. So what I'm going to do is stick this down, and I'm just using teeny dabs of glue, or trying to. And if I've used a little bit much, then I just use my nib to push that around a little bit further. So that, because what we don't want is the glue to come oozing out. The other thing that you could do with this is use some adhesive sheet on the back of your card before you die cut out, so that it makes it into a sticker. So I'm going to pop this here. I'll have it that way round, and then just use a bit of glue here, and I'll have that kind of turned around like that, and that just fits in nicely like that. And then you've got a choice. I'm actually going to, let me see whether these will pop up on dimensionals. Where's my mini dimensionals? Got some here somewhere. There we are. Let's see. If you get it round the right way, it will just fit. So I'm going to pop one of those there like that. And then that one could go like that. And don't worry if you haven't got the inks that match. It's nice to have the inks that match these spool colours, and you can see that that Melon Mambo doesn't look so different from the Berry Burst because of the nature of the stamp, the fact that it's supposed to give a watercolour effect, so it looks pretty good that way. So I'm going to use Ordinary Dimensionals now on the back of here. And I think we'll go with a couple more like that. So, but you'd be able to do this in whatever colours you've got in your cupboard if you've got the Crafting With You bundle. So you could pick colours, you know, to match a friend's preferred colours. So I'm going to pop this here like this. You could pop it in the centre, you could pop it down here. I'm going to go for something like about there. Just grab the insert out. And then we've just got these dots. And again, these are actually Melon Mambo. But as I say, it works because they are fun shades that we've got. There we are. So that's our outside. And then for the inside, I have used the You Inspire Me. And I'm just going to go with the Life is Better When You're Crafting. And what was I going to use? Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with that for this. Again, grab my mat because we're using photopolymer. And I'm going to want to position this a little bit over to one side to leave room for the DSP border. And then I can just add that down there. Just extend that. And then we'll pop this down the side like that and pop this on the inside. So that is just going in there. And this is it. As a crafter, I love this set, and I can use stamps that sort of appeal to the crafting that I do with our little Big Shot, cut and emboss machine. But, you know, if I've got friends that are into other crafts, if they're into painting, then I can go with something like this. If they're into knitting, we've got these. And if they're into sewing, they've got the sewing machine or the embroidery. So I think it's lovely. It's a really lovely bundle that can work for us as crafters, but also for our friends and family that may have different crafting interests. So that is, like I say, our last card for this evening, the last card of the Make and Take pack. If you would like some help ordering so that you can get your own Make and Take pack, then please do get in touch. and I hope to see you again at my online workshop first Wednesday next month. Bye.